Well, here's my picture. You can see that it's very simple. I knew immediately what I wanted to draw when I saw the circle. I mean, I love warm weather and the summer, so the sun was my first idea. The magazine says that your picture says a lot about your personality, but I don't believe that's true at all. Apparently, drawing a sun means that I'm very confident and maybe a little bit bossy. Actually, I think I'm exactly the opposite.
When I see a circle, I always think of a face, so that explains my picture. I think it looks like me, because of the long wavy hair. There's a lot of detail in the picture because art is my favourite hobby. It's quite a funny face, I suppose. The analysis here says that if you draw a funny face, it means you're a funny and cheerful person. That seems a good description of me. It's true that that's what my friends always say.
This magazine here says that your picture says a lot about your personality. It's a clever idea, and I think my picture certainly says a lot about me. That's my foot there, kicking the circle in the middle, which is, of course, a ball. I mean, I play football 4 times a week. I watch every football match that I can. My mum says it's the only thing I think about. Please don't show her this picture. I don't want her to see it, because she thinks I need to spend more time studying instead of playing football.
My first idea was to draw a face in the circle, but then I changed my mind, and I turned the circle into a big eye. It says here that an eye means that I like to control my life, and that I like to control other people. I see why they say that. The eye is watching others, like a big brother. The thing is, I know that sometimes I can be bossy, but I really don't believe that's an important part of my personality.
I have a big, beautiful garden, and when it's sunny, I like sitting out there. So when I saw the circle, I immediately decided to draw a big flower. Perhaps it sounds arrogant, but I agree with the analysis of my picture. It says here that when you draw a flower, it's because you like your own appearance and that you're a very friendly person. I think that in my case both things are true. But I think another reason why I drew a flower is just because I love flowers, the way they smell, the way they look. And I was in the garden when I drew it, so it isn't just about personality.
Hi, you're Lucy's cousin, aren't you?
Yes, that's right. My name's Ellie.
I'm Megan. This is your first year at this school, isn't it?
That's right.
Hey, you don't play basketball, do you? We need new players for the team.
I play a little, but I'm not mad about basketball.
Do you play any other sports?
Yes, I really enjoy swimming.
Great. What are your other hobbies?
I love music.
Really? What kind of music?
I like all sorts, but my favourite is rock.
Now I remember. You can play the guitar, can't you? Lucy told me once.
Yeah, I'm in a band. We're really good.
Do you know Josh? Josh Smith? He plays in a band too. Come on, let me introduce you to him.
When you go to the station to catch a train, if you don't already have a ticket, you go and buy one at the ticket office. You can buy a single if you're only going one way, or a return if you're coming back. The fare is more expensive when you travel first class because it's more comfortable and you have more space. There isn't an extra cost for luggage. You can take at least 2 or 3 big bags. When you have your ticket, you need to find the platform where your train is leaving from. If you arrive late, you may miss your train. But sometimes there can be a delay and your train doesn't arrive on time. And sometimes there's no train at all because they cancel it. It's important to keep looking at the information screens, which show the arrivals, the times that trains are coming into the station, and the departures, the times that trains are leaving.
This is to announce the arrival of the 5:15 to Torquay, the 5:15 to Torquay, stopping at Telmouth and Newton Abbot. This train is running approximately 20 minutes late due to a delay at London Paddington. Please stand back when the train makes its arrival and mind the gap when you board the train.
Excuse me, do you have any vacancies?
How many nights did you want to stay?
Just 2.
And did you want a single room or a double?
Single.
Well, we are very small. We only have 3 rooms and 2 of those are doubles. But somebody cancelled a reservation for a single room this morning, so I think we do have a room free for you. Do you want to have a quick look round the place?
Yes, that'd be nice.
Here's the living room. You can come and watch TV here when you like. And here's the breakfast room. You can make yourself coffee here at any time of the day. I serve breakfast from 7:30 to 9:30. And upstairs are the bedrooms. We have 3 other people staying here at the moment. If you'd like to come this way, I'll show you your room.
Hello, I would like to go to Yarmouth, please.
Yarmouth? Are you coming back today?
Sorry?
Are you coming back today? It's a cheaper fare if it's a same-day return.
I am sorry. I do not understand.
Do you want a single ticket or a return?
Oh, a single, please.
OK, madam. A single ticket, standard class, for Yarmouth. That's £22.50, please.
Oh no! I don't believe it.
What?
Look outside. It's raining. It always rains when we come here.
Yeah. When we were driving up here, it was sunny all the way. And now, as soon as we get everything fixed up in the campsite, the weather changes.
Oh, the journey took forever, didn't it?
I know. But it's not easy pulling one of these things behind the car.
Oh, look at those people over there. I think their tent has got a hole in it. The water's definitely getting in.
You see? It could be worse. At least inside this thing, we won't get wet.
We need to check in at 7 o'clock. Here's the check-in desk. What time does the plane take off? What time is takeoff? The car didn't break down. There is a car breakdown service.
Today on the History programme, we have with us Kate Summers. Kate, you've just written a book about the history of travelling around the world, haven't you?
That's right. I find it fascinating that today anybody can fly round the world in just 2 or 3 days. But people forget that it used to take weeks, months, or even years to travel round the world.
The first person to travel around the world was the Portuguese sailor Ferdinand Magellan, wasn't it?
People usually say that, but he in fact died before he could complete the journey. So really, the first person to travel round the world was the Spanish captain Juan Sebastián Elcano, and of course the 17 other members of the expedition who survived with him.
When was that, and how long did it take them?
They arrived back home in 1522. It had taken them just over 3 years. Of course, that was without maps or anything.
People have always been interested in travelling round the world faster and faster, haven't they? You only have to think of the famous novel by Jules Verne, Around the World in 80 Days.
Yes, The truth is that Jules Verne probably got the inspiration for his book from a real journey that somebody actually made in 1870, 2 years before Verne wrote his novel.
Oh, so who made this journey?
It was a man called George Francis Train. He was a rich American businessman who helped to build the Union Pacific Railroad. The building of the railroad was very important. Before the Union Pacific Railroad, it used to take about 6 months to go from New York to California. Once the Union Pacific Railroad was built, it took just 2 weeks.
So how did George Francis Train travel round the world?
He took the Union Pacific Railroad from New York to California. Then he got on a ship and sailed to Japan. Then he went by sea to Hong Kong and Singapore. After that, he took the Suez Canal.
Did it used to take much longer before they opened the Suez Canal?
Yes, the canal opened in 1869. Before 1869, sailors didn't used to have any alternative. They would sail right round the bottom of Africa, the Cape of Good Hope. It would take a long, long time, and it was dangerous because of the seas there.
So really, it was only possible to travel round the world in 80 days because of the new railway in the US and the Suez Canal.
That's right. Of course, the next big change was flying. Aeroplanes really changed everything. In 1995, the Concorde supersonic plane flew round the world in less than 32 hours.
Not even Jules Verne could imagine that.
Good morning. Can I help you?
Yes, please. Could you tell me the time of the next train to Canterbury?
No problem. Let's see. There's a train which leaves in 30 minutes at 5 minutes to 4, and you arrive in Canterbury at 6:15.
Well, that's great. Is it a direct train?
No, I'm sorry, it isn't. There are no direct trains from Gatwick to Canterbury.
I see. How many changes are there?
Just one. You go to London St Pancras and change there.
OK. Could I buy a ticket?
Of course. Would you like a single or return?
Sorry, I didn't catch that.
Would you like a single or a return?
Oh, a return, please.
When are you coming back?
Next Wednesday.
Pardon?
Next Wednesday.
OK, let's see. The cheapest fare for a return ticket to Canterbury is £41.
Right. Can I pay by debit card?
Yes, of course.
Oh, can you tell me which platform it is for the train to London?
Yes, it's platform 9.
And when I get to St Pancras?
Just look at the departure screens or go to the information desk and they'll tell you.
OK, thanks a lot.
Thank you, and have a good journey.
I'd always wanted to go somewhere really different, somewhere really far away, so I decided to go to Japan one year. When you get off the plane at Tokyo and see all the signs in Japanese, it's amazing. But it can create a few problems. One day, I went down into the underground and I just got totally lost. I caught one train and arrived on the other side of the city. I asked people for help and they were really nice. But in the end, it took 50 minutes to make a trip that usually takes 5.
I love travelling. When I finished university, I travelled around the world. I think it's because I travel so much that I don't really plan things in advance. I just take each day as an adventure. The only thing with travelling like that is you can sometimes have problems. I remember once when I was in France, I arrived at this town late at night because I'd missed a train. I thought there'd be lots of hotels there, but there was nothing. Well, no, there was one bed and breakfast, and it was full. In the end, I had to sleep outside in a park. It rained all night. Horrible. Sometimes it's better to think first.
Last year I'd planned my dream holiday, going to New Zealand. I hated the flight because it took such a long time, and I never like flying. Anyway, I finally arrived. I was tired and really wanted to get to the youth hostel where I was going to stay. It was a really good place that someone had recommended to me. Anyway, I was waiting for my bags to come out. I'd packed lots of things because I was going to be away for a long time. I waited and waited, and my bags never appeared. I had to spend the first week with almost nothing while I waited for them to find my stuff.
Last summer, I spent 10 days in Cuba, but that wasn't my original plan. My plan was to spend just a week there, but on the day before I was going to make the return flight, we were watching the news, and that's when we heard about the weather. There was a hurricane on its way, a really big one. The next day, we got to the airport with all our luggage, and they told us that there was a delay with our flight. Well, not just our flight, all of them. We had to wait for a long time before they gave us any more information, and then they suddenly told us that they'd cancelled all the flights because of the weather.